you've felt it before. The quiet slip in someone's face while you're talking. The smile that softens into nothing. The eyes that glaze and drift. The sudden, "I've got to run," that comes out of nowhere and leaves you holding your words like a bag no one wants to carry. Most people won't tell you why they're done with you. They won't hate you publicly or start a fight. They'll simply decide you're not worth the effort and vanish. The harsh truth is, this has less to do with your stories, your looks, your job, and more to do with the conversational tells you don't even notice. The insecurity that leaks. The ego that crowds the room. The neediness that begs for validation under every sentence. We live in an age of everyone speaking and no one listening. Everyone starving for attention and few deserving it. And the paradox is brutal. The harder you try to be liked in conversation, the faster people stop liking you. The Stoics understood this long before microphones and comment sections. Words are not decoration. They are discipline made audible. They reveal whether your mind serves you or you serve your impulses. So, if you keep watching people detach, don't reach for a new trick. Reach for a new standard. Because today, you are going to kill the habits that make people quietly dislike you and replace them with a calm, iron way of speaking that earns attention without begging for it. You make yourself the main event. You don't even notice it because you call it being open. You call it keeping the conversation alive. But what you're really doing is making the other person disappear. You mention your stress, they counter with a bigger storm. You share a win, they share a trophy cabinet. You describe a loss, they unload an autobiography. And yes, you've done it too. Because ego hates silence and loves mirrors. The cure is simple and hard. Give them the stage, not with fake nods or polite noise, but with a clean question that pulls the thread. What was the hardest part? What did you decide? How did you handle it? Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." He wasn't being cute. He was giving you a ratio for power. When you listen like a strategist, you make people feel important. And people never forget who made them feel important. The man who fills silence to feel significant shrinks. The man who holds silence to understand expands. Then comes the constant one-up, the conversational arm wrestle that leaves everyone tired. You don't mean harm, you mean to relate. But what lands is domination. They say they slept badly, you announce a week of insomnia. They mention a promotion, you volley 2. They talk about pain, you stack your suffering like chips. One-upping is insecurity with a loud coat on. It's the fear that someone else's moment shrinks yours. A grounded mind doesn't need to compete with a friend's sentence. It can say, "That's great, I'm happy for you." It can say, "That sounds heavy, how are you handling it?" Comparison is the thief of presence. And a Stoic has no interest in being taller than you in a story. He's interested in being useful to you in real life. Then there's the performance of certainty. Pretending to know everything because ignorance feels like death. You fill the air with facts, names, half-remembered studies, quotes you don't live by. You lecture instead of talking. And slowly, people stop asking you anything because you never ask them anything. Real intelligence is comfortable saying, "I don't know, tell me more." Socrates built an empire of thought on 1 sentence. "I know that I know nothing." That isn't self-humiliation. It's permission to learn. When you admit you don't know, you open a door. When you pretend you do, you shut one. Humility isn't a pose. It's a weapon that slices ego's tongue before it damages your reputation. Gossip feels like spice. tastes like power, and rots trust fast. Every time you trade someone else's name for a little attention, you tell the room exactly who you are. You're safe to laugh with, not safe to confide in. Marcus Aurelius gave you the only filter you need. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Gossip fails both tests and charges you interest. A strong mouth talks principles, ideas, solutions. A small mouth talks people. When the bait is dangled, practice the discipline of mercy. That's unfortunate. I hope he's okay. That sentence builds a wall around your character. People feel it, and they trust you with what actually matters. Most people don't fail at talking. They fail at sensing. They bulldoze over emotional cues like they're speed bumps. The room goes heavy, and they try to be funny. Someone opens up, and they switch topics. A voice cracks, and they offer a fix instead of presence. The Stoics were not ice. They were heat under control. They knew compassion is not weakness. It is attention. Listen with your eyes as much as your ears. Watch for the pause, the glance away, the hands guarding the body. Answer the feeling under the words. That sounds rough. How are you holding up? That one line, spoken clean and unhurried, will do more than an hour of advice. Because people don't need your cleverness. They need your steadiness. Tone matters. Sarcasm and slang in small doses are salt. In big doses, they are poison. Sarcasm is often a shield, a way to mock what you're afraid to care about. Slang can connect, but overused, it turns you into a performer auditioning for relevance. Marcus again. Let your speech be both straight and simple, not robotic, honest. Humor rooted in kindness bonds. Humor rooted in contempt cuts. If you're always the punchline machine, no one brings you their truth. And when your time to need the room comes, you'll realize you never built one. Interrupting looks like energy from the inside and disrespect from the outside. You think you're connecting. You're cutting the ribbon on their sentence and putting your name on their gift. The Stoic fix is the 3 count. When the urge rises, wait. Let the silence finish its job. Look for the moment their breath settles. Then speak. A disciplined mouth is magnetic. It tells the other person, you are safe to finish. And that safety turns acquaintances into allies faster than any speech you rehearsed in the car. Phones murder presence quietly. Every glance down says, you are competing with a rectangle and losing. Epictetus warned you. You become what you give your attention to. If you give it to notifications, you become one. Jittery, reactive, shallow. Put the device face down or away. Treat it like a weight on your discipline. If it buzzes and you don't move, you just won a private war. The reward is obvious in the other person's face. They unfold. They go deeper. Because full attention in a world of fractures feels sacred. Then the slow leak that ruins the floor. Constant complaining. It feels like relief and brands you as fragile. Pity is not respect. It's distance with a polite face. The Stoics never denied pain. They refused to worship it. They said, this is hard, and then they said, what now? Adopt the same. Before you unload, ask, is this helping me or making me weaker? Most of the time you'll realize you're not seeking a solution. You're seeking a witness to your helplessness. And helplessness is contagious. Trade why me for what now. Trade the broadcast for the plan. Power returns the second your words stop blaming and start building. This isn't about turning you into a silent monk with stone eyes and no jokes. It's about building a presence that doesn't beg, a voice that doesn't leak, a mind that doesn't need the spotlight to feel alive. A Stoic doesn't speak to impress. He speaks to clarify. He listens to command the room without raising his volume. He refuses to feed fires that burn his reputation. He lets silence carry weight because his ego no longer needs the noise. And people feel that difference in seconds. They relax. They share. They stay. If you want a place to train this in real life, and not just nod at it on a screen, step into my private community. Bring your mess, bring your questions, bring the conversations you keep wrecking, and we'll turn them into leverage. You'll get straight answers, Stoic-based tactics, real feedback, not comfort candy. Join today and stop practicing alone, because strength multiplies in the right room and dies in the wrong one. Here's your daily field drill. When you talk, ask one more question than you want to. When you're praised, one-up no one. When you don't know, say so. When gossip appears, refuse it. When the room goes heavy, slow down and feel. When wit wants to hide your heart, choose plain speech. When the urge to interrupt rises, wait 3 beats. When the phone tugs your sleeve, deny it. When complaint loads your mouth, convert it into action. Do this for a week, and strangers will start treating you like someone they can trust, because you finally behave like someone who can be trusted. Remember Marcus's command that should sit above every conversation you have. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your mind decides whether you are a lighthouse or a siren, whether your voice steadies a room or scrapes it raw. Discipline your attention and your words will follow. Discipline your words and your relationships will follow. And the strange thing you'll notice is the very people who used to drift when you spoke will lean in and stay. Not because you got louder, but because you finally became clear. If this hit a nerve, and you know exactly which habit is costing you respect, write it below in one sentence and kill it in public. No more one-upping. No more phone during conversations. No more pretending to know. Plant the flag, then hit subscribe so you've got a weekly standard that doesn't let you slip back into noise. Calm is rare. Presence is power. And the person who masters both never has to chase attention again. It comes to him on its own.